Rengar Ivern is a classic bot lane combo for low elo. It's known for its stupid power in lane and some crazy jump combos. But I have found two master tier players that climb together using only this strategy, turning it into a legitimately good bot lane combo that can compete with the meta. They started with this old idea and innovated, creating new strategies for laning phase and teamfights that let them completely take over games. Not only is the strategy new, but so are the builds, completely changing how you usually play the champions. Oh, and also, neither of them take flash, because they just don't need it. Hold on a second, what is TF using to buy items with? It must be our sponsor for today, Ridge Wallet. I never knew he had one of those. Buying a Ridge Wallet is like finally upgrading your mythic item. Choosing your mythic item, you have loads of options, just like you have loads of colours and special designs to choose between. I got this titanium matte cobalt one, and I really love it. You can finally upgrade those old, cheap, bulky, unnecessary components into a single, easy to fit in your pocket wallet that holds up to 12 cards plus has room for cash. I really love the simplicity of the wallet. It's the perfect size and it's light so it doesn't weigh down your pocket. Also, it's really satisfying to get cards out of to pay for something. I'd honestly pay just for the sliding alone. Each wallet has a lifetime warranty, so this may be the only wallet you ever need to buy, as well as having a 45-day refund period if you're not 100% satisfied with your Ridge wallet. So it's a great opportunity to upgrade from that old one. If you go to ridge.com/chime, link in the description, then you can use coupon code CHIME to get 10% off your order. Now back to our players, Volg, Zangief, and Pulgo Master. Volg is a Somali player with a name inspired by his favourite anime, and he is the one who plays Rengar. In early season 11, Volg decided he wanted to try an off-meta strategy, and was inspired to try Rengar bot lane with Ivern. He needed a duo to play with, so he went on League of Graphs and scrolled through the Ivern list to find a player near his rank. He ended up finding one perfect player, that was Pulgo, who accepted his friend request and listened to his idea. Hey, I'm a Rengar player and I'm looking for an Ivern to play with. With that message, Pulgo says that he thought, oh cool, I play Ivern jungle. I guess he plays Rengar top, so it sounds like a fun combo to try out. According to Pulgo, the Ivern, they got in lobby and the Rengar was already queued as AD carry, telling him to go support. Then the Rengar jokingly says, go exhaust heal. Ivern couldn't tell if he was serious or not, but he decided to listen and to try it out. So they get into their first ranked game. Neither of them have any experience playing bot lane with their champions. They don't know any of the matchups, and now they don't even have flashes. Surely this strategy couldn't work. But immediately their lane started going very well, getting some quick, early double kills. They snowballed the rest of the game and won, so queued up again. Another win, and again another win. These two random players that had just met were now pushing towards a new peak rank. The summoner spells were their first strategy, but over time they invented new ones, slowly progressing up ranks with this completely off-meta strategy. In September, the duo finally hit Master Tier together. The coolest thing about this strategy is that neither of these players are mechanical gods, neither of them are amazing at CSing, and neither of them are really macro geniuses either. Their strategy is very simple. Two champions that work super well together, and two players that know exactly what the other one wants to do before they even do it. It sounds a bit complicated, but let me show you how easy it actually is. In lane at level 1, Rengar takes his Q and Ivern takes his shield. The duo play safe, with Rengar jumping in and out of bushes to get CS. Ivern stays back, playing safe, and uses shield on Rengar to make sure he isn't taking too much poke damage. At level 2, both players take their W. This is a huge power spike for the duo, and the strategy really begins here. Rengar tries to get 3 stacks using minions, and then prepares to go for a kill. He moves into a side bush, and pings a minion for Ivern to look at. Rengar then jumps to that minion, near the enemy AD carry. As this happens, Ivern is placing a bush down on this exact spot, so Rengar can then jump a second time right onto the enemy AD carry. No matter how far back the enemies are, they will get caught out by this play, and it doesn't stop with one bush. Ivern has 3 bushes to place, so he chain places them down to let Rengar keep jumping and stick on the enemy. If the enemy AD carry flashes away, all Rengar needs is another jump to follow them, and this is why the duo takes such weird summoner spells. No flashes, just barrier ignite on Rengar, heal exhaust on Ivern. With these 4 combat summoner spells, any 2v2 fight in lane is going to be a win. The enemies have 2 flashes, so they simply cannot outplay all these extra tools that Ivern and Rengar get. Ignite exhaust goes on the enemy AD carry, making sure they cannot heal to survive and also cannot return any damage to hurt Rengar. Barrier, heal, make sure that even in a close fight, Rengar can stay in range to DPS, baiting enemies in and popping it at the last second to survive, collecting a double kill. Normally, Rengar's biggest problem is his lack of mobility. He needs bushes to really be a champion. With an Ivern next to him all the time, his biggest weakness is removed, leaving only a high damage assassin, who now also has combat summoners, and a low cooldown shield from Ivern that makes him impossible impossible to kill. Ivern Q also works great with Rengar, giving him yet another dash to get into melee range. In the rare situation that enemies play really far back, away from the wave, and avoid the fight, this duo roam up to take the crab, happy to fight the enemy jungler if they find him, otherwise just getting free gold. At any point, if the enemy bot lane refuse to fight them, they can just go for these roam plays, because they will always have priority. From then on, the duo can even be strong enough to win 2 versus 3, and Turn Ganks. The extra summoner spells basically give them extra abilities in fights, so Rengar can use 4 of his basic abilities, an empowered ability, loads of jumps, and now also a barrier ignite. He always has an option he can go for in a fight, he's never stuck, so the skill cap can be quite high. According to this duo, there are pretty much no bad matchups for this combo. The usual Rengar counter is CC, but for bot lane, Rengar has his cleanse on his W, and that's usually enough for them to get past the CC. So for example, against a Thresh, he can just jump into the hook, cleanse it, and then keep going for the kill. At level 6, Rengar gets ult, and is able to use it mainly as an extra jump to engage in lane. If enemies overstay, or walk up too far, they're already dead. He just runs straight in, followed by Ivern, and jumps straight onto enemies. Ivern's ult, Daisy, is especially good for diving, even if you don't have a wave. Ivern walks in with Daisy to tank tower shots, placing bushes for Rengar to chase the enemy down. If the enemy AD carry is left alone against this combo, they are dead. And that's pretty great for a roaming support meta like we have at the moment. The main win condition this duo goes for every game is Dragon. Since they're playing 2 jungle champions, they can often even do it alone, when both of the junglers are topside. They don't really take any damage from it, and the enemy bot lane will be way too terrified to walk up and stop you. The funny thing about these two players is that they've played hundreds of games together, but they've never even used voice comms. This strategy works because each player just knows how their champion should be played. Rengar wants to deal damage and stay near Ivern to get more jumps. Ivern wants to shield Rengar to keep him alive, and give him bushes so he has lots of options. They're the perfect couple to go together, and they don't ever leave each other alone. When they're roaming, they roam together. When they're in lane, they stay together. If they split up, they lose their power, and one of them's going to get tower dived. In mid game, they keep focusing on dragons, keep focusing on that win condition, they can fight around the dragon, but they need to make sure they are never alone. Whenever Rengar is going for a play, Ivern is waiting right next to him, ready to give him a shield and help him win the fight. Together, they're much stronger because both of their builds are specific so they work well together. These players have made custom builds to fit their style. Rengar is not building like a full lethality assassin, he instead is building like a bruiser, with Gore Drinker as one of his items. He's focused on survivability, to extend fights rather than going for one-shots. So then, when they get to teamfights, Rengar Ivern is such a fun style. Pretty much, the more Rengar is able to jump around, the more likely you are to win a fight. The fights are all about Rengar jumping everywhere around the fight using bushes. Early in the fight, Ivern should try and set up all of his bushes so Rengar can use them for mobility. Ivern then needs to get to a safe spot to support him for the rest of the fight. Rengar can then use the pre-existing bushes on the map, and the 3 new ones Ivern has placed, to jump around the enemy team with a tanky bruiser build. He's also constantly getting shields, so he's healing from Gore Drinker, and getting a 250 health shield every 5 seconds. This build is hilarious to play. The longer the fight, the more value Ivern provides, and the better Rengar is thanks to his mobility. His jumps and the healing never run out, so they can just outlast enemies. Instead of it being an assassin, it reminds me a lot of Tank Rengar from Worlds last year, where your goal is to draw a lot of attention, and jump around so you can't be caught. But now with this combo, you don't have to build the tank yourself, Ivern gives it to you, so you also have damage from your build. They try to start fights in an area with lots of bushes, for example in this dragon choke point. Thanks to Ivern, you can fight anywhere on the map. It's not as bad as Rengar by himself, because he can set up bushes even in the centre of mid lane to make it a playable fight. With this strategy, Rengar gets all of the credit since he is the one doing all of the plays. But without the Ivern, he would not be able to survive these fights. He would not be mobile enough to do what he does, and this strategy would not work. Both of them are vital, and that is why this strategy is so nice. It's quite easy to get started with this strategy because it's like you're both playing a single champion. All you need to do is have a little bit of synergy. So when you're in a fight like this, Rengar looks like he's 1v9 jumping into enemies over and over again, but the hidden part is that Ivern has given him 1500 HP in shields, and that doesn't even include any of the healing from his items either. In late game fights, Rengar becomes unkillable, and if you're ahead, a 2 versus 5 is not impossible thanks to Ivern's healing. It's quite similar to playing Lulu Kog'Maw. If they both position correctly and can help each other, the carries can have enough damage to kill everyone, and the supporters can have enough shielding to keep the carry alive. Every game, the duo ban Lulu and Seraphine. These champions are great at shutting down aggression, so they're great ones to get rid of. Their builds really fit so well together. Rengar starts Doran's Blade with first item Gore Drinker, buying plated steel caps against AD and Mercury treads against CC. His next item is STRATS, then Death Stance. defense, both for survivability to keep extending fights, finishing the build with Black Cleaver against tanks, Spirit Visage versus heavy AP, otherwise he buys Guardian Angel. It's a very simple build, all about staying alive, but Ivern's is a bit different. He starts Spell Thieves every game. The first thing he buys is 3 Fairy Charms to give him extra mana, and also boots. His boots should always be Lucidity boots for cooldown reduction so he can spam more shields. Dark Seal is good if you're winning lane and have extra gold. Ivern with this style shouldn't be the one dying if he's playing properly, so it can be great value to buy early on. For his mythic, he has a choice. Moonstone is best against a strong enemy frontline that Rengar needs to tank and survive against, but if they're against a team without a frontline, instead just with high damage squishy champions, Ivern goes Shurelya's to help Rengar reach them. From there, against assassins or burst champions, Ivern gets Zhonya's. Against a strong frontline, he gets Redemption. If the enemy has a ton of healing, Chemtech Purify is great. He often gets all of these items as they're just so good on Ivern. The order you buy them is the only thing that matters. Here are their rune pages. Of course, Rengar's taking Conqueror and runes that help him do well in long fights. Ivern prefers this Summon Airy page, since it gives a bit of extra damage, which is great in early fights. Both of these players have Twitch streams, so please check them out at the links in the description. Thanks again as well to Ridge for sponsoring this video, link below for them. As always, thanks so much for watching.